So how much income do I need, you need, we need, all of us need in retirement? Never ask anyone that question except Stan the Annuity Man, because that is a layup for most salespeople. They'll try to sell you something. Hi there, I'm Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states, including the one you're sitting in. We're going to dig down into that topic so that you fully understand the amount of money you should put in and you won't make any mistakes. But I'm not going to do any of that until I hear music. So in this video, we're going to talk about a lot. My 2 questions, an acronym I've come up with called the PIL, that you're going to love that acronym. We're also going to talk about inflation and legacy, reverse engineering the quotes, everything you need to know, pretty much everything you need to know. So hang in there with me. I've come up with 2 very unique ways to determine if you need an annuity, and if you do, what type works best contractually for you. The first 2 questions that I've come up with. Every single person that calls Stan the Annuity Man, I encourage you to do that. Go to theannuityman.com and set an appointment to speak with me. But I ask them 2 questions. The first question is, what do you want the money to contractually do? And the second is, when do you want those contractual guarantees to happen? Let's take those 2 questions and I'll give you a couple examples. What do you want the money to contractually do? I want income. Second question, when do you want those contractual guarantees to start? I want income to start now. Well, then we've determined that you might need a single premium immediate annuity. Let's do it again. What do I want the money to contractually do? Income. When do I want those contractual guarantees to start? 7 years from now. Okay, we've narrowed it down to 2 product types. Deferred income annuities, it could be a QLAC as well, and income riders. Okay, from just those 2 questions, I'll quote all carriers to find the highest contractual guarantees, and then we will discuss them. Let's do it again. What do you want the money to contractually do? I want to protect the principal and get some interest. When do you want those contractual guarantees to start? Now. Okay, great. That is a multi-year guarantee annuity. That's the annuity industry's version of a CD. See how simple that is? So let's do it again. What do you want the money to contractually do? And when do you want those contractual guarantees to start? Now, the second thing I've come up with is an acronym called PIL. P stands for principal protection. I stands for income for life. L stands for legacy. And the other L stands for long-term care / confinement care. So let's do it again. Principal protection, income for life, legacy, long-term care, confinement care. If you do not need to contractually solve for one or more of those items in the PIL acronym, you do not need an annuity. There's no G for growth. There's no M for market. There's no S for stocks. It's PIL, principal protection, income for life, legacy, long-term care, confinement care. You can contractually solve for those 4 items using annuities. So let's do it again. 2 questions. What do you want the money to contractually do? And then use the PIL, principal protection, income for life, legacy, long-term care, confinement care. That's it. That's the way to determine if you need an annuity and what type, and even better than that, if you don't need an annuity. So how much income do you need in retirement? I get that question all the time. I think we need to go backwards a little bit and talk about the income floor. So what is the income floor? It's the guaranteed amount of money that's coming in every single month. But what is that covering? That's covering your mortgage, your light bill, your electrical, your food, your travel, your lifestyle. Figure out what that is. Put the pen to the paper and say, okay, this is the income floor that I need. This is the guaranteed amount to cover those lifestyle expenses every single month. And then what that means is that's your income floor, and then you start adding up. Okay, what's my Social Security? What's my pension if you're so fortunate to have one? Dividend stocks, whatever's coming in monthly, and then from that income floor amount that you need to hit, if there's a gap, then we can contractually solve for that. Okay, in YouTube land, it's all about likes, subscribes, shares, and comments. Comments I'm going to respond to, so please hit that. But share it with your friends, like it, subscribe to the channel because I do these videos a lot. So, I wrap this in another video, so I'll kind of wrap it again. Like, subscribe, shares, comments. Like, subscribe, shares, comments. Like, subscribe, shares, comments. Please, Stan the Annuity Man. So let's talk about reverse engineering the quote. No, I'm not an engineer. I did not get an engineering degree, but I have an annuity engineering degree because I'm Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent. So let's talk about reverse engineering the quote. What does that mean? That means instead of saying, hey, Stan, I got this lump sum, this couple 100,000, 300, 400, whatever, that I want to find out what the income stream will be. Instead, let's reverse engineer the quote. Let's go the other way. Let's say, okay, I need this amount of income per month. Let's just say $2,500 a month. How much premium will it take after Stan the Annuity Man quotes all carriers? How much will it take to guarantee contractually that monthly income? That's reverse engineering the quote, and that's a really efficient way to do it. So when you're talking about lifetime income and retirement, the gorilla in the room, that thing in the back of your head I'm getting ready to yank out, is the word inflation. Stan, what happens with inflation? What do we do with hyperinflation? What happens when there's inflation? Well, if there's any agent out there that says that they have the annuity that solves for inflation, they are telling a lie. I mean, there's no way to track something that's unknown. So what I tell people all the time is you buy the highest contractual guarantee, and if inflation hits, then we can reverse engineer and solve for that inflation amount that you need to cover for your income floor. Do some annuities have inflation components that will increase the income? Absolutely, but understand this and listen to me closely. Annuity companies have the big buildings for a reason. They have the big logos on the planes for a reason. They don't give anything away. So if you want to buy an annuity with an inflation increase, I'm going to do a visual for you. The same annuity without the inflation increase starts right here. The same annuity with an inflation increase starts here. No, I'm not doing the Madonna Vogue thing. What I'm telling you is that annuity companies don't give it away. That doesn't mean that you don't need to buy an annuity with an inflation rider. Just understand that it's not going to be what you think it is. You already own the best inflation annuity on the planet. That's called Social Security, and you can add an annuity with an inflation rider, but just understand that the annuity company is going to lower those payments to make up for that inflation increase. So how much money do you need in retirement? Some people say, hey, Stan, I really don't need an income stream, but I want to create a legacy for, say, my spouse or partner or my children or grandchildren. You can do that. You can have them be a joint owner or a joint annuitant on the policy so that when your legit hits the mountain and you die, the income stream continues uninterrupted and unchanged for their life. That's what I call legacy income planning. And if you don't need the income personally, but you're thinking kind of about others and your family, you can set up this legacy income planning by putting them on the policy as joint annuitant, and that way you know when you pass away, they're taken care of. So how much income do you need in retirement? That's a really good question. You can go to my site at theannuityman.com, run the quotes yourself. No one's going to bug you. Now, you can schedule a call and you can get my books for free and under no obligation, but if you go to theannuityman.com, you can start punching in numbers and seeing what the guarantees are, and then you can schedule a call with me and we can go over those things in detail. So thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button and I'll see you on the next Stan the Annuity Man video.